Hey guys, Chris here, back from CNH Small Engine again today. Today is a review for a service I was doing with my father out here this morning and part of the afternoon. My dad got a 2009 Dodge Dakota truck here with the 3.7 liter V6 engine in it, and we were changing out the spark plugs over here. It was basically 90% me and 10% him helping me because he can't get up in the actual truck engine bay area to actually get to the plug, so it was basically me doing the actual changing on specifically for this job here. It took about 2.5 hours because we never even did this before, and I was actually looking up on eBay and also for the actual parts, and also on YouTube for any kind of references for the actual torque specs and what kind of spark plugs you specifically need for this machine as well too. And we actually had the spark plugs here, and I'll show you what the old ones look like. This truck has about 100,000 miles on it, so these spark plugs have never been taken out as far as I know, because my dad got this about 2.5 years ago. It's the NGK spark plugs. The replacement ones we got here, the V-Power ones. So get a better shot here for you guys. V-Power ZFR6F-11G, stock number 6987. You need 6 of these, and you get a box, or I should say a box and a half specifically. And these spark plugs were extremely, worn down on here, to say the least. I'll give you a shot what they actually look like here, so bear with me here for a couple seconds while I set them up here for you. There's one, and see how worn down they are, and it's pretty worn, to say the least, right there. Replace all 6 of them, and there's the other one right there. And get a better shot for those ones over there. They're extremely worn down on here, so we got them all taken out. This engine right here, it only has 3 coil packs on this truck right here. I believe some of the other ones have 6 on here, but this one specifically has only 3. You have 3 coil packs on the driver's side of the engine over here. You got 1, 2, and you get your third one back here, and each coil pack has the COP design for the one specific one right here, plus you have a secondary wire coming out that goes over to the passenger side of the truck's engine bank. The reason we were changing the spark plugs today was because the engine was having some bucking, hesitating issues in overdrive, let's say around 40-45 miles an hour. If you're on a flat or going up a hill when the truck is in overdrive, and it was like bucking and acting like it was misfiring, and we were thinking it might be a bad coil, might be a bad spark plug, but we found out that it was definitely the spark plugs, and the spark plugs were definitely shot. The primary reason why we thought the spark plugs were bad was specifically because it was popping up codes on the engine for the number 6 spark plug in the back on here. It was giving me a hard code stating the number 6 spark plug was misfiring, and we ran it on here for the actual trouble codes, and it kept on pulling up number 6 on here. Number 6 spark plug, guys, is all the way in the back here. Let me get a rod to show you here. Number 6 spark plug is all the way back right here where the wire is at, right here. That's number 6 on the bank for the passenger side. So if you're interested in like looking up specific parts for your engine right here, number 6 is all the way in the back. And that one was probably about the worst one to get. It was a real bitch to get at because we had to get the we had to constantly move the stuff out of the way. This thing had to be moved out of the way just a teeny bit, and we also had to move out this a little bit right here as well too. But we got the tools in there. We got the thing taken out. It took about 2.5 hours or to the job hole from start to finish. You do need a torque wrench right here to set the actual torque specifications. We got that right here. We torqued them up to about 18 on the actual torque wrench right here, because I was getting conflicting reports online. Some guys are saying 15, other guys are saying 20, so we torqued up to about 18, so you got a compromise between the high and the low spec right here for that. So overall, like I said before, it took about 2.5 hours. In order to do the job successfully over here, you do have to take the intake system off on this machine. Got to take the air box off right here. You got to take your tube. You got to disconnect your PCV line right here, or I should say the I think this is some kind of PCV line. I really don't know, but I think it's a PCV line specifically. If somebody knows more than what I'm talking about, just like please chime in the comment section. Please update me on that right there. But I think this might be a PCV line. So you disconnect it right here. Take the box off. Take the tube off. You also take the intake. We want to call this box right here. It basically just pulls right out. You also have to disconnect your sensor wire underneath that as well too, because you have your sensor right here for your mass airflow right in the back, right back here. I'm seeing help you out here. It's right in the back right here, guys. You gotta disconnect that as well too. Take that out of the way, get that out of the way, get everything out of the way. And also disconnect your battery as well too for any kind of safety reasons, for electrical reasons specifically. And you might want to disconnect these two lines right here as well too. This one right in the back here, and another secondary. I think these are some kind of an air line. I really don't know what they are specifically, so please forgive me for my ignorance. You might have to disconnect these two right here as well too, because your last third cop in the back right here is kind of in the way right here of these pipes. So it'd be a good idea to get these things out of the way as well too, guys. So overall, I'd say the job was on a scale of 1 to 10, I say about a 5 or 6, because we never actually did this before over here specifically. And we took it to a local guy. His name was Stash Tire and Auto, and he told my father that it was going to require disassembly of the top end of the engine. He specifically said the intake manifold would have to be taken out to get to the spark plugs, and from what we found over here, the spark plug, or the actual intake manifold, did not have to be removed to get access to the spark plug. So the guy was basically lying to my father, and I really don't know why the guy would be lying about it, other than the fact that he probably didn't want to do the job, and he was going to charge probably my dad about $250 to do the actual job. And he called my dad up and said initially that he could do the job. However, he called back an hour later saying he didn't want to do it because it was going to take extensive disassembly, and he was not going to do the job. And my dad just simply went down and picked the truck up after that, and we attempted to do the job here today, and the attempt was successful. So this is a good status update of the machine, and I'll go ahead and post up a second video here for the actual starting up of the truck after I get done with this one right here for that. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot, feel free to leave me a message here. If you have any questions about this specific routine maintenance, or something that should be done between 50 and 100,000 miles, because my dad's truck almost got about 100,000 miles on it right now. So this is something that should have been done a while back, but my dad didn't want to do it because he was fearful of possibly stripping the threads on the actual spark plug. That's one of the reasons why we didn't do it until now. So it was successful. We did take it down the road, and we drove around for about 10 minutes. It's no longer bucking or hesitating in overdrive, so the repair was successful, and the engine also is idling smoother, and it also seemed to be having more power going up a hill as well too. So overall, the whole job was a complete success with no kind of failures on our part or any kind of stripping of any cylinder heads on this specific truck. So I'll go ahead and post up a second video after I get done with this, guys. I'll see you. Have a nice day.